through the day, all 365 days. Recently, I met quite a few select parents, and one of the sincere concern parents have expressed was children appear to be very casual and easygoing. That's what Shomi was mentioning all about. But, dear parents, please keep in mind these very children are producing the results that Mr. Rajshekhar was mentioning. So, it is not the pretension of working hard that matters. Two things I would like to mention to you. One is any school is an extension of the society where it exists, whether it is Oakridge or for that matter any other school. And it is responsibility of the school to consider the parental aspirations, societal expectations, and live up to it. Hence, school cannot be something that reaches a point. It continuously evolves, whether it is 15 years or 150 years. School or any other education institution has to continuously evolve, otherwise it's no more relevant. Hence, Oakridge is continuously evolving. The second thing is, what we believe here is, children should be lifelong learners. Today, Shomi at the age of 80, he is still with all of us. Just imagine today's 7-year-olds and 10-year-olds. Maybe 70 to 80 years from now, they are going to have active life and career. 2 days back I was reading, maybe by 2030, the entire energy, the power for which one of our youth spends today will be something like a mobile phone incoming call. It is absolutely going to be free. Can anybody visualize that the entire energy that we are going to get is going to be absolutely free? I'm not a fortune teller, but there is that forecast. So the point I'm making is, our children are going to experience so much of change which none of us sitting here can forecast or predict. So their survival is going to depend on if they are going to be continuous learners. For any individual to be continuous learner, one should be a happy learner. Going to school should be a happy thing. Learning something new should be happy. Then only they are going to learn, and that's what they enjoy, and that the enjoyment they continue for throughout their life. Hence, we are ensuring that children are happy at most possible times. But it's not at the cost of their career, it's not at the cost of their character. So, we are child-centered school. We believe that we are evolving in that direction from the very raw concept stage to in 15 years, whatever the progress we have made. And as Rajshekhar mentioned, in the process, there are certain difficulties or there are certain concerns, and we are constantly focusing on those issues. We are more particular about imparting right skills, life skills to children. Today, most of the governmental agencies or institutions, they talk of skills. And they think after the school, after the college, for 3 months, they put some training and that's what is going to be skill. But please remember, that's not going to be skill at all. Skill is combination of 5 aspects. First, it's knowledge. Then, it is the passion. Third, it is the attitude. Fourth, perseverance. And fifth, hardworking. Unless all these 5 qualities are there, it's not going to take shape of skill. Without skill, children cannot progress. So, we are having right knowledge, right intent, and working in right direction to ensure that all Oakridge children are going to be they learn the right things and they bring out the treasure within and live happy life. That's what we are meant for. That's what you all have come to Oakridge. That's what we believe, and we ensure that no stone unturned in achieving the goal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for encouraging us to be happy learners. Our next guest this evening is Mr. Santosh Anu, Senior Director, Deloitte, who has led the Deloitte US operations in Hyderabad and Mumbai and is currently focusing on global technology and communication clients in India and USA, assisting them in developing global business models. He has an MBA in strategy from Kellogg School of Management and an MS in optical electronics from University of Oklahoma. Sir, we are privileged to have you here with us. May we request you to address the audience?
Visionaries, educators, parents, and the wonderful kids. It's an honor to be part of such a king-size event and associated with people who have such king-size vision. So first I thought, as I saw the kids play, I wish I was in fourth grade back again. Then after a while I heard that Oakridge is the best place to work. Then I said maybe I should have continued working in Oakridge. And then I look at the vision of, transparency and where you want to go. So I feel I probably want to kind of, be vested in the organization. So kudos to what you folks are doing. Now, when I have, like many of you, I have 2 kids. They were very amused that I was going to come and speak at a school event. But the biggest advice I got was they said, "Dad, no one's there to hear you speak, so make sure you don't speak more than 2 minutes." And having been in your seat for about 13 of such programs, I know I'm holding between you and the wonderful events that your kids are going to do. Nevertheless, I thought, it might be interesting to do inquiry about what the future is going to look like. And many of these things were addressed. But what does it mean to all of us and to the future, who are going to see the future? So we're associated with this organization called Singularity in California. It started by an ex-Google person. And what they do is they prepare leaders to use exponential technology to meet humankind's issues. So you kind of, someone alluded to the fact, it was great. I was going to use the fact that, the average age today is about 82, 84, and your advisor is already there and he's strapping, so he's probably going to cross 100 himself. And every year, there have been advances that are increasing the life's longevity by about 4 to 5 months. And this is just not basic life, but it's actually active life. So it won't be surprising that sitting amongst us today, there are many kids who will live past 100 years. This is an amazing opportunity at one end, but at the same time, a huge conundrum in multiple areas. So, financial management, the way we know about it, how do we prepare for retirement? I mean, that concept of what we knew, what our parents knew, is thrown out of the window. All of us parents here sitting and who are all planning and working, saying, I'm going to retire at 62, and probably I'm going to leave some kind of an inheritance to my kids. That's just an example of it, right? So what is the other aspect? It's education. How do you prepare kids for a future where none of us can envision what it's going to look like? And a lot of the things that we think are norms today, or we grew up as norms, are not going to be norms. Things that are socially unacceptable today will become the reason for survival and actually success later on in the future. And as we think through this problem, I think great institutions that you're building and as parents, things that I struggle with every day with my kids is, what do we teach them, or more than interestingly, what do we learn with them to deal with this future that they're going to experience and we're going to experience. So I thought I had a few thoughts about it. So, what is going to be so different? We talked about financial planning, we talked about education, careers. There was a rule made that you would study till you were 21. You'd probably, get married by the time you're about 27, 28. You're going to have kids about 35. And then, you work and you retire. You'll have one career, maybe that spans about 20 years. With the way the lifestyle is going, someone who's going to be 100, they probably could have close to 3.5 or 4 careers, which are completely different, each lasting about 20 years. How do you prepare for something like this? Emotional intelligence and emotional stability. When you live so long, you're going to see so much of change that happens through lives. You're going to be experienced and exposed to various degrees of happiness and unhappiness, great things. How do you adapt? How do you reinvent the kid? How do you reinvent yourself to not only work with these various careers or various places you're going to go to? Right? So here are a few thoughts. Many have talked about it. And what is the role that we as parents can play? That's very important, because one thing is for sure, the kids observe us. The kids observe the teachers, they observe the parents, they observe what their friends are doing, they observe what their relatives are doing. And it's very important that this is not just something that the kids can do by themselves, it's something that we have to teach them, which means that we have to reinvent ourselves. So we talked about re-education. I think many of us who are in our 30s and 40s will probably consider going back to schools, taking time off our careers, enrolling in programs. Now, why is that important? It's not only important for you because you're going to live 85, 90 years, but your children are going to see you. They're going to see that it is okay for mom and dad, or it is okay when you're old, to go back and relearn yourself. And relearn so that you can retool yourself. That's demonstrating by example. Ability to deal with uncertainty. So how do you show that example? The only way you can do that is learn how to fail. And this is a stigma in our society. And I was really heartened when the chairman and the managing director were talking about the fact that, hey, we have issues because we're trying new things. Well, you're never solving hard problems until you're failing. And you have to celebrate failures. So how do you celebrate failures? Well, you have to fail in front of the kids. You have to try new things that you have not done before. And you have to fail. And you have to celebrate that. Similarly, when you have a kid who probably tries a new exam, which is something very different, and they fail, you have to celebrate that and not be concerned about the fact that they probably failed in the first attempt. So that's very important for us. It's amazing thing that you learn is how do you deal with risks and how do you fail. If you do not know how to fail, you cannot succeed. And our society traditionally has been built on wanting to succeed. And it tries to hide away a lot of the elements of failure because it is seen as socially unacceptable. Emotional tolerance and independence. This is again something we as role models can teach our kids. I don't know how many parents cry in front of the kids, show their frustration, which probably they do a lot against the kids as opposed to something they're feeling. How do you argue dispassionately? These are all important because kids is growing, they have to become emotionally stable. Of all the educational things, of all the technological developments that we talk about, I think this is probably so fundamental that they're able to deal emotionally as they grow older. And so as we think about this, this is probably more of a common inquiry as opposed to something that I have known, is that it becomes very incumbent on us as we prepare our future to face their future, to kind of learn with them. And I was talking earlier, maybe Oakridge will have a program where you as parents will learn together with the kids, which helps us figure out how to deal with the future and how to deal with them. And probably the last thing that I will leave with you is embrace experiences, as many of you do. And I know the parents who are here, the teachers who are here, you come with amazing experiences, and you already know this. It's experiences that will prepare the kids for this amazing, uncertain future. So splurge on experiences. Go light on materialistic stuff. Learn to fail yourself, which helps your kids to learn how to fail and get out of it. Demonstrate and learn with them lifelong so that they know that this is a continuous habit that needs to happen. And this is something that I'm trying to learn myself now. And I hope that, one day, 80 years from now, like Shomi, we look back and said, wow, we loved the learning aspect and we want to learn more. So have a wonderful evening. And I think you're in a great place. Your kids are in a great place. And all I can see is success for all of you and for the fantastic institution you're trying to build. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts with us and for wanting to be a part of Oakridge. Mr. Santosh Anu, we are privileged and honored to have you here today. We would like to express our gratitude by presenting you with a small token of appreciation. May I request our principal, Mr. Gustav Grob, to do the honors? Thank you, sir, and thank you everyone for sharing your vision, dreams, and thoughts with us.
And now, it is time for some entertainment. Our little Oakridgers are soon going to fill up the stage to showcase their amazing talent. They're going to present us with a mesmerizing animal dance. They are putting together a scene from the jungle that portrays the harmony and coexistence of all the animals. The main idea behind this act is to remind us that life is full of magic, and sometimes all we have to do is believe in it. It is very easy to let days fly by without taking any notice of the world around us. But when we stop for a moment and witness the wonders that life has to offer, we can see the magic unfold. Let us find that magical place in our world. I wish to share a quote by Nora Roberts. Love and magic have a great deal in common. They enrich the soul, delight the heart, and they both take practice.
तू करके दिखा।
हंसना है जादू, रोना है क्या, रोना है जादू,
तो हंसना है क्या?
जीवन भी जादू है, जाने न तू। अंगलिक बंगलिक रंगलिक जंगलिक जादू है ये जादू, जादू है ये जादू, जीवन भी जादू है, जाने न तू। ये काली बकरी तो है जादू, हाँ हाँ रे हाँ, काला जादू है क्या? है गोरा दूध इसका एक जादू, हाँ हाँ रे हाँ।
लहू भी है जादू।
जंगल है जादू, हमें पता, तारे है जादू, जीवन भी जादू है, जाने न तू। अंगलिक बंगलिक रंगलिक जंगलिक जादू है ये जादू, जादू है ये जादू, जीवन भी जादू है, जाने न तू।
Wow, that was an amazing performance and a charming jungle full of enthusiastic animals. These were the students of early years. Let's hear it loud.